Hey everyone, I'm going to take a moment here. Here's a little wind blown. It's been pretty windy today, but so beautiful. While I wait for some folks to show up, I want to just take a moment here to show you a little bit of where I'm at. It's such a beautiful day here in the gorge. This beautiful spring day. The sun has been shining today. It's such a blessing and it's so beautiful. I wanted to take a moment to get on here and share a couple things. Elena, hello, welcome. Good to see you here. Click this little wave. I don't know what that does on the other side when I click that little wave button, but I figure I'd wave right back. Good to see you. Blessings. And blessings to everyone that is either here now joining or will be watching this later. I hope your day is unfolding with so much beauty and love and peace and joy, and things are aligning for you, or at least coming together in a way that is supportive of you in some way. All right, welcome. Slowly folks are joining. Thank you. I wanted to interrupt your day to share a couple of things. Vicky, welcome. That I hope will support you. You know, will continue to support you in some way to create a beautiful day in spite of whatever's going on, right? In spite of whatever's going on globally, locally, and so on. And so, Keisha, welcome. Blessings. Thank you for being here. Boston, thank you for being here. Welcome. Cynthia, likewise, thank you for being here. So, you know, something that some of you might not know about me. I come from a lineage of a couple groups of people that have gone through some pretty tremendous, shocking, traumatic, suffering kind of experiences. One of them being, I come from a Mapuche lineage, which are the indigenous people of Chile, South America. Yeah. And the other is Jewish. No explanation needed. And there's something that, you know, if you look at not just these particular groups or cultures, but if you look at some of the groups of people that have gone through tremendous suffering in this world in some way, right? They've had things, their whole lives taken from them, right? Their ways of life, all sorts of horrible things that we would wish hopefully on no one, right? But having gone through those things and then continuing to move forward, right? Continuing to move forward. There's certain things that all of these different cultures and groups have in common. Yeah? Things that they have developed over time that have kept them going, that have kept them strong, right? That have kept their spirit high. Yeah. Welcome, Janice, and to everyone else that's watching. I want to just quickly reflect what I just said, because it's what I'm basing what I'm about to share on, and that is, again, that there are groups of people, yeah, and many of us are part of some of those lineages that of people that have gone through tremendous suffering, right, that have gone through some very traumatic experiences, and the things that have kept them going, the things that have kept them able to stay afloat in the midst of all sorts of crazy things that have happened, right, in their lives, are two particular things. And there's more, but I wanted to just share two of these things because I think they're very important. The first thing is humor, right? Humor amongst cultures and groups that have gone through terrible suffering has been tremendous medicine. Yeah, tremendous medicine. Finding a way to still laugh, finding a way to take things lightly, right? To be able to, I don't know, you know, the comedians know more about this, and if you hang out with me for a little while, I might make you laugh. But for the most part, is finding a way to not take things so seriously in the midst of seriousness, right? You hang out with any indigenous communities, African American communities, folks that, I know from in South America, a lot of the folks that have gone through horrible, terrible things, and still being able to find a way to joke and to laugh and to, raise each other's spirits by taking things a little bit more lightly, because we can all go into this very serious, deep, dark hole, and there are a lot of serious things going on in this world, but it exists as a possibility and a choice to take things lightly, to find a way to laugh. That's the first thing. The second thing is gratitude. Right? Gratitude. I know many who have been on the personal development block or spiritual practice, we've heard a lot about gratitude, but it hasn't gone out of style, right? It hasn't lost its potency at all. Gratitude is still an incredible way to lift your spirit, to tap into those wonderful tonic chemicals, right, that keep you aligned and connected to something so much greater. To be grateful for just the small things, starting there, right? The fact that you're breathing, the fact that you can see today, that you can see colors, the fact that maybe you're being able to hear the words that I'm saying, that you are listening today. Your hearing hasn't gone anywhere, right? You can still hear. All of these things that we often take for granted. I've been hearing and seeing people say how, wow, hopefully this whole thing that's been going on with the pandemic and physical distancing and all of that, hopefully we will be able to wake up and realize how much we've taken for granted. The practice of gratitude can open you up so that your hearing and your sight and your life experience doesn't have to be impacted in some kind of negative way before you realize what it is you really have. You have this tremendous gift, right, of being able to experience life. And starting just on that base level, that very small opening to the fact that you're alive, that you're aware, right? That you're breathing. Maybe you have a roof over your head. Maybe you have a bed to sleep on tonight, right? Maybe you have family or partner or someone that you get to connect with every day. And maybe that's where some of the joking piece comes into play, right? Because, there's a lot of things we could say about that too. About partners and such. But nevertheless, humor and gratitude, these two things, these two dynamics have kept cultures alive and still growing and empowering themselves and still looking forward to the next day and to the impact they're going to have on future generations, right? Because it loosens that weight from your shoulders, right? It drops some of that weight. And it's so important to keep dropping the weight, right? To find a way. And humor and gratitude are incredible, simple ways that we can all tap into some of that enlightenment. Yeah, we all need a little bit of enlightening, in my humble opinion. So I hope this is very brief, a brief little live here. But I'm hoping that some of this serves as a reminder, again, to find those ways to keep your spirit high, to keep yourself aligned with the realization that from a different vantage point, all is well, right? From a different vantage point, the universe hasn't all the planets and stars and everything is still operating as it was before all of this pandemic happened, right? There's so much in this universe that is actually operating just fine. Again, as I see spring and these flowers and everything blooming, I'm just constantly reminded that from a different vantage point, all is well. Yeah, from a different vantage point, everything is operating in perfect harmony. Yeah. And for us to tap into that, to tune into that, we have this capacity in our mind, like a radio station. We can tune into any kind of radio frequency. We can tune into Fear FM, right? Where everything looks like it's going to hell and nothing's going to be looking good in the near future. And we can worry and we can do all of that. That's one station you can tune into. Another is, what should we call it? Love FM for simplicity. Joy FM, whatever you want to call it. You get to tune into a completely different line of thinking, a completely different set of possibilities. You can notice things that are actually here right now that can bring you joy just by shifting what you're tuning into, right? The bottom line fact of the matter is that we're all experiencing our perceptions at all times, from moment to moment. You're only experiencing your perception, yeah, moment to moment. So gratitude can up-level your state of mind just by finding something to be grateful for. Yeah. In fact, I would love to know, if you guys want to play full out with me here, what are you grateful for? Yeah, put it in the comments. What are you grateful for? What can you find in your life to be grateful for? You know, sometimes when I'm working with a client, sometimes we'll take a moment after we've done some of that deeper, more emotional work, is we round it off with creating an avalanche of gratitude, right? Just taking the time to find one little thing to be grateful for, and then finding another little thing to be grateful for, and then another to be grateful for. And before you know it, you start creating this whole cascade where you start to tap into this realization of all the goodness that surrounds you, the goodness that you're immersed in, right? And you have been this whole time, right? But to open that into your awareness makes a huge difference, right? To realize what you have and to spend that moment to be grateful. This is tremendous. Yeah. So what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Write about it. Share about it. You know, bring that into the activity of your awareness. As one of the activities in your awareness, to be grateful, right? And to share that gratitude with others. This is tremendous. This is one way that we as a collective can keep each other floating high above the waters that are passing through right now, right? And then, of course, humor, my dear friends, finding a way to laugh, right? To not take yourself so seriously as well, right? That reminds me of the story of rule number 6. You guys know about rule number 6? It's, you know, hopefully someday we'll be able to interact in more of a conversation where everyone can just, you know, you do a Facebook Live and then everybody's able to jump on video and we can all interact in this way. That'd be pretty sweet. But in the meantime, I suppose I'll answer my own question and assume you haven't heard of rule number 6. So let me tell you about rule number 6 before I call it a day here. So the story is where a prime minister was hosting a meeting with another prime minister from another country. And they were talking over some serious matters when all of a sudden the host, one of his, helpers, comes into the room where they were having this meeting, really stressed out, frustrated about something that's going on, and venting in front of this other prime minister and interrupting their meeting. And so the prime minister looks at him. His name is Charles, by the way. And he says, "Charles, remember rule number 6. And in that moment, Charles, suddenly his whole composure changes, right? He suddenly collects himself, his shoulders drop, he feels much more at ease. And he said, "Thank you, sorry for interrupting this meeting." And he very calmly walked himself out of the room, right? And so the other prime minister saw that and he was like, "Wow, what the hell did I just see? What just happened?" But he didn't say much else. And so then moments later, as they continued to discuss about some serious topics, the host's secretary comes barging into the room. Again, something had happened with someone from another country. She was incredibly frustrated and felt disrespected and all sorts of stuff and started venting right there. And again, the prime minister told her, we'll call her Janet, said, "Janet, remember rule number 6. Yeah? And in that moment, Janet again did the same thing that Charles did. Her composure changed. Her shoulders dropped. She looked more relaxed. And she said, "I'm sorry for interrupting. Thank you for reminding me." And she walked herself out. Now, the other prime minister saw this, right, again, and he was just blown away. So he said, I gotta know. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. These people come in all riled up, and suddenly you tell them to remember rule number 6, and something inside of them changes. So I gotta ask, what is rule number 6? And the prime minister said, well, rule number 6 is simply this: don't take yourself so damn seriously. Yeah? Don't take yourself so damn seriously. And the prime minister there said, wow, that's fascinating how that works. And so then I got to know, what are the other rules? What's rule number 1? And the prime minister said, there are no other rules. Yeah. So rule number 6, my dear friends, to not take yourself so seriously. Yeah. Especially when so many serious things are happening in this world. To find a way to find the humor, to not take it so heavy on yourself, is again, you're experiencing your perception. Bottom line, yeah? We are all at cause for how we feel. Not by be a big pill to swallow, but it's when you step into that incredibly empowered position where you can actually change things in your experience. Prior to that, we remain as victims until we can find or recognize that we are at cause. We are the source of our emotions, that they're happening from within us, that there's nothing outside of us that's causing that feeling. It's not the person, place, or thing, but something that's happening within you, an inner dynamic that's happening, right? Until that's recognized, we're going to keep doing the same thing of trying to change the external world, seeking external power, trying to control and manipulate things in such a way that we'll finally be able to feel like we're, happy and free. But that's always temporary. It's always unsustainable, right? A wise teacher once called it building your castles on sand, right? So we got to find the rock, and it's in here. It's not out here. Yeah. So with that being said, my dear friends, again, 2 wonderful things we can learn from cultures and groups that have survived, and have not only survived, but have gone on to thrive in many ways, right? One is humor. Yeah, don't take yourself so damn seriously. Yeah, humor. And the second thing is gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. Being grateful for that piece of gluten-free bread. Yeah, being grateful that you get to breathe and see and hear and feel and touch and taste and all of these things today, right? And right now. And so, all right, I hope this was helpful in some way. Just some simple reminders. Remember rule number 6. There are no other rules. Rule number 6, again, don't take yourself so damn seriously, right? And remember to give thanks, because regardless of what's going on, we're alive. We're alive. We're breathing. The sacred gift of life has not been taken away from you, right? If you're watching this, you have a lot to be grateful for. We all do. Yeah, we all do. If we can tap into that, if we can all align with that more and more and more, that's a wonderful ripple effect. Yeah, that's a wonderful contribution to all the fear that's going on, to all the worry and anxiety that's going on. Yeah, more people align with gratitude and being willing to remember rule number 6 and not take themselves so seriously. This is medicine for this world. So, with that being said, sending lots of love and blessings to everybody. I hope you continue to create an incredibly beautiful day. And yeah, use this time, while you're still alive. There's so much to receive. Gratitude is a wonderful way to open the door to receive all the gifts that you're already being given. Yeah, you're already being given these gifts. There's so much to be grateful for. So, much love and blessings, everyone. Create an incredibly beautiful day. Thank you for sticking around for a little while. Keisha, Nancy, Amy, David, Leslie, thank you. Donna, Jolyn, TC, anyone else, Amy, Leslie, Dina. I would love to acknowledge all of you. And that I think will do for now. Emily, Tatiana, blessings to everyone. Catherine, blessings. Create a beautiful day. Until next time. Yeah. Aloha for now. Thank you.